The sun sank slowly behind the city skyline, pouring a warm golden glow over the towering glass walls of Titan Enterprises. One by one, employees streamed out of the building, coats over their arms, phones in hand, eager to get back to their homes and families. But inside the echoing lobby, one man remained. He moved carefully, dragging a mop across the shining marble floor as if time itself had slowed for him. His name was Armin, the janitor. Armin's back curved with years of hard work. His hands were cracked and worn, and his uniform had long since lost its color. Yet there was something unusual about him. His eyes weren't tired or bitter. They were calm, focused, as if they carried a story too heavy to share. To everyone else, Armin was invisible, just another cleaner blending into the background. But tonight, something unseen was shifting. Fate was quietly stepping in. High above the lobby, inside the company's private hall, CEO Victor Hale was hosting a lavish gala. Victor was famous for his ego, his sharp suits, and his cruel confidence. Wealthy investors, glamorous socialites, and powerful executives filled the room, their laughter bouncing off the marble staircases. Crystal glasses clinked, champagne flowed freely, and soft violin music wrapped the air in luxury. Armin didn't belong in that world, and yet his life was about to crash into Victor's in a way no one could predict. As the night grew louder, Victor stood proudly among the crowd, bragging about his success, soaking in the attention. He enjoyed looking down on others. Then his eyes landed on Armin, quietly sweeping near the edge of the hall. A slow smirk spread across Victor's face. "Look at this." Victor laughed loudly, pointing toward Armin. A man with a mop. Probably knows nothing about ambition, nothing about class. The crowd chuckled. Victor leaned forward and sneered. "Tell me, janitor, have you ever even touched a horse?" Victor mocked, his voice dripping with pride. "I own the finest stables in the entire state. Only people with real power deserve to ride them." A few people in the crowd laughed nervously. Others shifted uncomfortably, too afraid to defend the janitor and risk angering the CEO. Armin stopped moving. His fingers tightened around the mop handle, and slowly he lifted his head. His voice was steady, almost gentle. "I know horses better than you think, sir." Victor's smile twisted into a sneer. "Oh, really?" he said loudly. Then he spun toward the guests, spreading his arms like a performer on stage. "Everyone, let's make this interesting. If this janitor can ride one of my prize stallions, I'll give him anything he asks for. But if he fails, he'll spend a year cleaning our shoes." The room exploded with laughter. Someone shouted, "Make it harder." Victor's eyes lit up with cruelty. "Fine," he said with a sharp grin. "If you can ride my wild Arabian stallion, the one even trained riders are afraid of, I'll do something insane. I'll marry you off to anyone you choose." Cheers and whistles filled the hall. The challenge sounded ridiculous. No one believed Armin had even the smallest chance. But Armin didn't hesitate. He didn't argue. He simply nodded once. "I accept." What Victor didn't know was the truth Armin carried in silence. His life hadn't always been mops and buckets. Years ago, back in his homeland, Armin was a respected horse trainer, known for calming wild stallions others feared. He grew up among them, learning patience, trust, and an unspoken bond. Then tragedy struck, an accident that took his wife and left him a single father to his young daughter, Haya, with no money left and his heart shattered. Armin had walked away from everything he once was. He crossed borders, swallowed his pride, and took a janitor's job just to survive and give Haya a future. He never spoke of his past, never bragged, never corrected anyone. He let the world believe he was small. But tonight, that buried truth was about to rise. The test began the next morning. Victor turned the challenge into a public spectacle. At the company's private estate, employees gathered, wealthy guests arrived, and even local reporters showed up, eager to watch the janitor fail. Cameras flashed as the gates opened. Out came the stallion, a massive black Arabian named Shadowfire. The horse reared violently, hooves slamming the ground, nostrils flaring, eyes burning with wild fury. Even the professional trainer stepped back, whispering nervously, "This horse throws everyone. It's dangerous." Victor only smirked. "Perfect," he said coldly. "Let the janitor learn his place." Armin walked toward Shadowfire slowly. No fear showed on his face, no hesitation. His expression was calm, most gentle. He didn't rush. He didn't grab the reins. He simply stood beside the horse, close enough to feel its breath, and whispered softly in a language few recognized anymore. The crowd jeered. "He's scared." Someone shouted, "Look at him, he won't even touch the horse." Laughter rippled through the estate. Then something changed. Shadowfire's nostrils flared again, but this time differently. Its ears twitched. The tension in its body softened, slowly. Everything shifted. The stallion slowly lowered its head toward Armin's outstretched hand. A wave of gasps rolled through the crowd. With calm patience, Armin stroked the horse's neck, whispering softly, and then, in one smooth, confident motion, he mounted. Instantly, the stallion reared high hooves, slicing the air in fury. But Armin moved with the horse, his balance perfect, as if he had been born in the saddle. Shouts of disbelief filled the arena. Shadowfire burst into a wild gallop, racing around the ring, muscles rippling with power. Yet Armin guided the stallion with effortless control, responding to every movement with quiet confidence. And then, within minutes, the impossible happened. The wild horse slowed. Its rage melted away. Shadowfire began to trot calmly, proudly, beneath its rider. Silence fell over the crowd. Then emotion broke loose. Victor's face drained of color. His smug smile vanished. For the first time, the arrogant CEO had no words. Armin dismounted slowly, gently patting Shadowfire's neck. "A horse is never tamed by force," he said quietly, his voice carrying across the arena. "It's tamed by respect, patience, and love, the same way people should be treated." The crowd exploded into applause. Reporters rushed forward, cameras flashing, headlines already forming. Janitor stuns CEO with incredible horseback feat. Victor swallowed hard and stammered, "What? What do you want? Money? A better job?" Armin shook his head. "I want nothing for myself," he said calmly. "Only a scholarship fund for employees' children, so no child has to suffer the way my daughter almost did." Gasps echoed again. Even Victor's closest advisors looked away in shame, embarrassed by their leader's cruelty. That moment changed everything. Backed into a corner by public pressure and his own humiliation, Victor had no choice but to agree. The scholarship fund was announced that very day, and he had become its first recipient. But something deeper changed too. The people of Titan Enterprises no longer saw Armin as just a janitor. They saw a man of dignity, strength, and humility. Those who once ignored him now greeted him with respect, and Victor, once so proud, learned humility for the first time. He finally understood that true greatness isn't found in titles, wealth, or mockery, but in kindness, resilience, and the courage to rise above.